G'day viewers, I hope you're all well, and just wanted to share something with you which I thought was worth hearing about. If you've been following the news, you would have noticed that there's been an earthquake just recently in India, as if they haven't got enough problems at the moment with that which shall not be mentioned. It's my name for it these days because I'm really tired of hearing those words. So yeah, there was a magnitude 6.2 earthquake on the northeast part of India. But if you've been following news relating to earthquakes, you would have also been aware that preceding the earthquake in India, there was an earthquake in Indonesia, which was quite a big one, around magnitude 5, something like that. And then prior to that, there were earthquakes closer to Australia in New Zealand. So, I mean, I'm no expert by any means on earthquakes and plate tectonics and all that kind of technical stuff. But I just had a quick look at at the map of the world in terms of the tectonic plates. Which are those large underground formations which move around and at the edges of them, apparently when they come together and crumple and bend and things like that, break or whatever, that's what causes earthquakes. I believe that's the basic idea behind it. There's a large, I think it's called the Australian Indian or Indo-Australian plate, I think that's the technical term for it, which is a very large one of these tectonic plates, and Australia sits right on top of it. But it's basically the edge of it, I think, is where the Himalayas are in India. That's kind of the edge of that Indo-Australian plate. So that's why you get the Himalayas with all the land buckling up under the pressure of those plates underground. But basically, I think that plate is what's responsible for the earthquakes that have happened in New Zealand, Indonesia and India. I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but it seems to be heading in a northwesterly direction. Well, it is. I mean, from New Zealand to Indonesia is northwest, from Indonesia to India is northwest again. So if you follow that line across and around the continent, it's generally heading in the direction of, dare I say, North America. And you may also be aware that there was a famous prophet known as, his name was Nostradamus apparently, and he made a prediction in one of his quatrains that there would be an earthquake around about November this year. He kind of indicates it by astrological signs and things in the stars. Basically, it's a star chart that he's using, and he can actually pinpoint dates in history by the movement of the stars, and by his calculations, the prediction is for an earthquake in around about November 2021. And from the sketchy information that provides in his quatrains, it's been interpreted that may indicate an earthquake in California. And there's plenty of science out there apparently on this as well, indicating that the San Andreas fault, which runs right through California, is actually overdue for another major earthquake. So really the science backs up the prophecy, so to speak, at this stage. So it's a very disturbing thing, and I don't take it lightly at this. I'm not intending this to be just a ridiculous scare tactic video or anything like that, but I think if I was a resident in North America, and in particularly California at the moment, I'd be getting in contact with authorities, possibly preparing some sort of escape plan or something, or at least emergency plan, you know, in the event that an earthquake does hit that part of the world. You know, hoping and praying for all, you know, our American brothers and sisters that something like a major catastrophe doesn't occur, obviously. But it seems like that part of the world is a bit of a ticking time bomb with that fault line. And just when I started seeing that pattern of earthquakes heading in a general northwesterly direction, I mean, I'm not an expert, like I said, you know, but it's like a bit of a pin the tail on the donkey thing at the moment. It's just going boom, boom, boom in that general direction, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that, you know, you know, if you push something at one edge, then you get a reaction at the other edge of it, and it's like, I don't know, pool balls, you know, on a table when I was playing pool. You know, if you hit your cue ball, it hits another ball, and you know the line of direction of travel that it's going to go in from where the cue ball strikes the ball. You can follow the trajectory of it, and it's just action-reaction process. So, you know, basic physics, I suppose, you know, the action-reaction process seems to be predicting what's happening, you know, but like I said, how that pans out with those plate tectonics and stuff. There's a lot of different plates around the world, and you know, the Indo-Australian one is only one of them, and they fit together like a big jigsaw puzzle, you know, and I don't know how the movement of one of them affects the movement of the other one, you know, and how they kind of interact with each other, you know. I mean, it's I think at the moment it's at the point where the the Indo-Australian plate has kind of done its thing, you know, in terms of earthquakes in this part of the world. So it's going to move on to the next one above it, you know, and start affecting that more northerly, northwesterly part of the world, would be the logic of what's happening at the moment. So let's wait and see what happens. But I would be seriously praying about this issue and working out some sort of emergency strategies, and keeping a close ear to the ground with what's happening in your part of the world. And yeah, I mean, really hope things work out for the best. So God bless. See you guys around.